We've spent 200 years building things that take from the planet. Concrete that cracks and gets discarded. Materials that outlive us by centuries in landfills. Buildings that fight the climate instead of working with it. What if the next generation of engineers builds things that give back on purpose by design, not less harmful, not carbon neutral, actually regenerative? Buildings that clean the air around them, materials that pull carbon out of the atmosphere instead of adding to it, cities that behave like living systems instead of machines. That shift needs a very specific kind of person, someone who understands how nature already solved these problems millions of years ago and knows how to translate that into something an engineer can actually build. Hi, and welcome to Mnemosis, your career intelligence podcast. Here, we explore the jobs of tomorrow, their real-world impact, future demand, and where the global job market is heading next. Let's dive in. A sustainable biologist works at the intersection of biology and industrial design. Their job is simple to state, hard to do: make human-built systems behave more like living ecosystems. Instead of asking, how do we reduce damage, they ask, how do we design something that regenerates? They study how nature filters water, cools air, recycles waste, and builds strength without burning fuel, then translate that into materials, buildings, and infrastructure. Think of them as translators. One side speaks biology, the other side speaks engineering. They make sure nothing gets lost or wasted in translation. This role sits between two worlds, so the requirements are hybrid, not traditional. A background in biology, ecology, or environmental science is common. Increasingly, it's paired with a second layer: materials science, industrial design, or civil engineering. Core knowledge includes understanding of ecosystems and biological systems, familiarity with biomimicry principles, basic grasp of materials science and life cycle analysis, knowing what happens to something from creation to decay. Skills encompass systems thinking, the ability to see how one change ripples through an entire system, cross-disciplinary communication, explaining biology to engineers, and constraints to biologists, comfort with data and modeling tools used in environmental simulation. By experience, many enter through research, environmental consulting, or green architecture. Some come from pure biology and pick up design literacy. Others come from engineering and go back to school for ecology. There's no single path here yet. That's part of what makes it a frontier role. This is not a theoretical role. The outputs are physical, measurable, and already appearing around the world. Sustainable biologists help create building materials that absorb carbon instead of emitting it, living facades that clean air and regulate temperature without electricity, water systems modeled on wetlands, filtering waste naturally instead of chemically, construction blueprints where waste from one process becomes raw material for the next, bio-based insulation, self-healing concrete, and packaging that decomposes into nutrients instead of pollution. These aren't concepts. These are contracts, patents, and finished structures. Here's the pressure point driving this role forward. The construction and materials industry is one of the largest contributors to global emissions. Regulations are tightening. Investors are demanding sustainability metrics, not promises. At the same time, cities are growing, and the old way of building, extract, use, discard, is running into physical limits. Raw materials are getting more expensive. Waste disposal is getting more restricted. Regenerative design isn't a moral choice anymore. It's becoming a financial and legal requirement. That shift means the sustainable biologist moves from nice to have to necessary hire inside architecture firms, manufacturing companies, and government infrastructure projects. Demand for this role is emerging across several sectors. Architecture and construction firms working on green-certified and net-zero buildings, materials science companies developing bio-based alternatives to plastic, concrete, and insulation, environmental and engineering consultancies advising governments and corporations on sustainability compliance, large infrastructure and urban planning agencies, especially in regions investing in climate-resilient cities, and a growing number of biotech industrial startups where the entire business model is regenerative material design. This isn't one industry hiring. It's several industries converging around the same need. This role fits a specific kind of mind. If you're a biologist who's tired of research staying on paper and you want your work to become physical, built, and used, this is for you. If you're an engineer or architect who wants your projects to do more than avoid harm, who wants them to actively restore something, this is for you. If you like solving problems where there's no existing rulebook and you're comfortable working across two very different disciplines, this fits. But if you prefer clearly defined, single-discipline work with an established career ladder, this role will feel unstructured. That's worth knowing up front. If you're looking for a real hack to the future, then visit Mnemosis.com, learn more about this role, and build your tomorrow by taking action today.